This is Neil Schneider from NTBS at CES 2018. To my immediate right is Derek Orr, who is a division chief at NIST. Welcome to the program, Derek.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
So for those unfamiliar, what is NIST?
So NIST is the National Institute of Standards and Technology at the Department of Commerce, and our role is to create the measurement methods that U.S. companies use to create better trade practices and allow for fair trade within the U.S. and amongst other countries.
Can you give a working example?
Great example is NIST keeps the nation's time. We have the atomic clock in Boulder, Colorado, and that is the clock that is used for people to calibrate their own clocks to ensure that everybody is on the same time.
Okay, so we've got some virtual reality going on here. What's on display?
So my specific division that I'm in charge of is the Public Safety Communications Research Division, and we are looking at finding ways to improve public safety communications in the future. And one of the areas that we're focused on is finding new ways for public safety to interact with the system. A great example is you don't give a firefighter a smartphone with a mapping program and send them into a building and believe that's going to help them. They can't see it because there's too much smoke, they can't touch it because they have gloves on. So what we need to do is find new ways that they're going to interact with that communication system to get that mapping information or any other kind of information in a way that actually meets their needs. So that might be heads-up displays, that might be haptic feedback, that might be audio cues. The challenge is for us is that to test which things make the biggest difference in the outcome is you can either do it in a pristine laboratory environment where you can control the variables, you can repeat the variables, but it doesn't look anything like their public safety workspace, right? No fire, no danger. Or you can do it in their workspace, but it's not controllable, it's not repeatable, and it's dangerous. So what we're doing is we're using virtual reality to merge the two, recreate a realistic scenario for a public safety user, have them be able to do a task in that virtual environment, overlay new user interfaces on that virtual environment, and test which ones make the biggest impact on that outcome of that task.
This is really intriguing to me because it's it's an active use of virtual reality today that I think is making a big difference. Have you had success with this?
Well, we've just launched some of the first programs around this. In December, we closed our first grant program for this this issue, and in which we're going to fund institutions around the world to actually implement prototypes of this so that we can see what works and what doesn't. And we also have right now open a prize challenge opportunity in which in June we are going to look for people to come up with the best examples of a heads-up display to navigate inside of a building. And that will be a prize challenge that we judge in June, and we will issue, I believe, up to $125,000 in prizes for the best interface for in-building navigation.
So I take it content makers, technology makers, they should take a look at this because this is a proof of concept for something even grander, I take it.
And what's exciting to us about this is not simply that it is a unique use of virtual reality, it's also a very open platform that would allow for research into what kind of interfaces are going to make the biggest impact and allows for rapid prototyping of new ideas without actually having to make a product. You could virtually make the product, test whether it's going to make an impact, and then determine whether or not you want to make that product in the end. So it really could lead to better rapid prototyping of new technologies.
Do you think you would have been able to achieve something like this 5 years ago?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
So I think there's a lot of opportunity being opened up right now.
Yes. Just in the last 3 years, our ability to get virtual reality technology that is off the shelf, that is reasonably priced, that we can expect other people to be able to buy and use instead of us buying $1 million system that nobody else could own. We can now buy the system, create the software platforms, open it up to the public as a library, and know that it's affordable for other people to buy and be able to use.
Good stuff. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh, by the way, if people wanted to learn more about how to apply and so on, where do they go?
We have a website. It is pscr.gov, and it's easy as that.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
You bet. Thank you.
This is Neil Schneider from NTBS at CES 2018. Thank you for watching.